I just want to jump in here and share my appreciation for all the new subscribers and those who, you know, have been watching and commenting, and you know, it means a lot to me, just as far as getting the channel growing, but also that I can help some people with doing this build, or, you know, saying how cool it is. Like, just thanks for all the support and the new followers. We're currently at 181 subscribers, and that's huge. I never thought we'd be at this benchmark so early on, but like I said, this build is cool and you want to follow it, so appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, give this a thumbs up. If you have any questions or want me to go into more detail on specific items that I'm doing, be sure to drop a comment below, because I read the comments and I will show you as much detail as I can on what we're doing. So just keep that in mind. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Jeep here. This old girl, we're getting closer and closer to a driving Jeep. Let's take a look at this. Woo. She is looking mighty fine. In today's episode, we are going to be putting a transmission mount in and welding up some brackets to bolt to the transmission mount. As you can see, this is the one that was on the transmission, rusted and broken. So it's supposed to look like this. So 30 bucks on AutoZone had this. I did have to pick up the bolts here. We're gonna make something that bolts onto this, and then that bolts here right at the frame, probably, that, you know, comes up to it somehow. We'll figure that out, but that's the plan. Have to figure out the right angle for the transmission. I'm not sure yet on the degree of the engine as far as slanted, so I think most people say, I've heard some people say a 5-degree angle is how their Cummins is what their Cummins has, which is what we have right here. I've heard some people say they go even up to a 8-degree angle. To me, an 8-degree angle seems a little much. Whew. Well, it's been a rough one, guys, but this is how we're looking like on the transmission. I've got the bracket up there, right here, bolted to the frame, then welded. I'll need to reinforce it for sure, but for now that will work. I will, like I said, I need to reinforce it some more, obviously, before we go driving this thing, but for right now it's good enough to move it around. It is Saturday, it is a new day, and last night I was working on the transmission mount, which I'm gonna beef up today, support it a little more. But I also got the valve cover. I have it sandblasted. I still need to powder coat it Jamaican teal to match everything, but we got it set on there because I actually hadn't set it on to check the clearance, but we have got so much room, so it's perfect. So that is really cool. My buddy Josh is actually headed down here to help me out today. Last Saturday, Josh, my buddy, came over, who is a wiring whiz, and we tore apart the whole dash here. As you can see, a gauge cluster right here taken out, as far as right here too. He isolated the whole heater box and fan. We're gonna try to make the gauge clusters work as much as we can. And then we've got this all wiring isolated. He has taped it off so we know what is what. This was for the windshield wipers, this whole box, and then this whole harness here, he said he was almost done with, but most of these wires are going to be cut out. So most all this big tangle and mess will be out of here because we are putting our own blinkers, so like your relays and fuse box. I am going to make my own one fuse box inside, and then the one out front somewhere on the fender well probably will have the relays. Here is a close-up of the transmission mount. I'll try to get as much in detail as possible. It goes like this. It's not going to stay by itself. Actually, yeah, it will. So this is exactly how it goes in. This is facing the back. Then you've got your supports on either side. And what I'm about to do is put some bracing on right here. So triangle this in from the back, then also do the same thing underneath. Probably run some support like I did right here, if you can see that. So kind of do that there. Same thing over here, right here, and then probably like run some bracing here as well, and right there. I just finished welding up this a little more, adding some more support to it. It's all I'm going to do for now because I believe it's plenty strong, but what I did was I triangled this section right in through here, welded the outside and the inside. Same thing over here, inside's welded and the outside's welded. Then I added along the bottom here a little support at the joint right there. Both sides welded as well, and same thing over here. And then along the sides I welded right here and over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grinder here and then kind of pretty it up, grind all the sharp edges down, make them nice and on point, and then that will conclude the beefing up of the transmission mount for now. So I'm gonna try to show you guys how I designed it easily to go in and out. So under here with the light, you can see that we're using the stock Cummins motor mount. I believe the mount is the same whether you're going with a manual transmission like we have here, or if you're going with a automatic. It's the same mount right here. You can see what I'm talking about. I've got the belly pan used to connect to this bolt, and this one, and same thing on this side. So we're utilizing the middle ones, and I'll show you exactly how this works. So alright, slides up like that. So you'll stick some of your bolts on. Alright, got those two in. I will go over to the driver's side. All right. So we've got the outside braces on. Now we can go ahead and pop these ones in. All right. And then we can drop the transmission jack. You can see now that with the supports and all, it really does a good job. And if over here, you can see the support I put on it right there. So really happy with how this turned out. I'm thinking of also putting a triangle piece just right here, just to support this edge, because I couldn't run it flush up against the frame with the emergency brake. So that's one thing. And also keep in mind, we're gonna be running a second brace from this mount over to here and support it as well. So all in all though, excellent. I still need to get a slip yoke for the rear. My goal with that, while we're talking about that real quick, the slip yoke on the back is something that the one that came with the engine is just too small of a slip yoke. I don't know what transfer case was back there. I need to go under and pull the numbers, but it was a substantially bigger slip yoke back there than what the swap set it came with. So I'm gonna need to find the numbers on the transfer case and then get the correct slip yoke. Also still need to figure out a fuel pump system. I don't know if I'm going with like a FASS or like Air Dog, or there's a different kind that my cousin got that goes off of the pulley here, down here, and it's a mechanical pump. It's a little cheaper than the Air Dogs, but it is one more thing to get a stick caught up in if you're off-roading, and then if you lose a belt, you're kind of very screwed unless you have a backup or something like that. So I'm not 100% sure still on that side of things, how that's gonna iron out. I will see you guys later. Peace.